So it's about that time I finally helped people learn how to fight with blobs, so let's do it. Let's first cover non-lethal tricks, because there's only one, and, well, one that I feel like sharing. Well, technically two, but it's the same input. There's layering, which is basically having more than 4 blobs out at once to threaten damage. And spreading, which is just layering, but once. This is not very good at actually killing anything. It's just good at making sure you hit them. It can be good for softening up targets or finishing off already damaged ones. I wouldn't recommend this one too much, but it's something I really recommend you at least are aware of how to do it. Because it's better to know how to do it when the situation shows up than, you know, not know how to do it and then have to, like, do the hard methods and all that. So yeah. Anyways, let's cover the first thing. Number 1, fast shots. This thing is easy to do. Press forward when firing. In fact, all you have to do is smash input forward. This leads to funny situations like fast shot while retreating. It's a bit harder to do, but yeah. And also, next up, slow shot. I don't know why you'd want to do this, but we're going to talk about it anyways. It's easy. Instead of holding towards your opponent, hold away. Yep. So, unlike every other weapon in the game that determines shot speed based off a weapon's base shot speed multiplied by your velocity, Blob doesn't care about these rules. It simply just looks at what direction you're holding. That's it. Why it does this? I don't know. Ask someone who knows this game's code better. I simply am the monkey who sees it works, and I press the funny button. I don't think further than that. Next up, let's talk about a thing that's both very obvious and not obvious at the same time. Blob's shots bounce. They also don't hit if someone is underneath them. If you don't slosh carefully, people can just swim under your shots. So, how do you slosh properly? Because apparently this isn't common knowledge. You aim for the lower half. You aim for the lower half, you'll always hit. It'll never bounce over their head. I promise you this matters a lot more than you think. Next up, when it comes to actually hitting a moving target, don't just move your camera, move your body. It makes your life so much goddamn easier. Yeah. And other than that, let's talk about one last thing, because I want this video to be short, and I don't feel like going into complex stuff here. I just want to get the basics down. We'll go over complex stuff once Blob Deck goes out. And I get to talk about a sub-weapon. So this is actually something that Pika recommended I talk about for this, so shout out to them for also fact-checking to make sure I'm not saying anything that's dumb. Flicking the opposite side where you move helps the blobs converge onto one point. I don't personally use this much, but I know it's something Pika uses a ton. There you go. Personally, like, there's 2 ways you can do this. You either do the slow version of the flick, which allows the blobs to kind of stay all in a line and actually be useful for killing anything. And then there's fast flick, which, it's just a dash forward flick shot. Which, yes, blob flicks are not actually lethal. They just do damage. And it's also pretty important to understand, like, the speed of your flicks that you learn how to do. Because different speeds, different times you start, stop, in the middle of the slosh changes heavily how the blobs will spread. And it's fine if you just spend, like, a good while in the training room just learning how blobs flicks work. Because it's not really something I can explain, you kind of just have to get a feel for that. But yeah, that's the end of the video. If you want me to talk about more complex things, if this video does well, I'll talk about a certain funny thing I use a lot in tournaments. So yeah, see you then. Bye-bye.